At last, Donkey Kong Country has finally made its way from the Super Nintendo onto the Nintendo Switch. Developed by Rare in 1994, this 2D platformer was one of the most gorgeous games on the Super Nintendo. Now, subscribers to Nintendo Switch Online can play it on a modern console. Donkey Kong Country is the first in a trilogy of games, and you play as the most famous gorilla on the planet, Donkey Kong, alongside his nephew, Diddy Kong. The story begins when King K. Rool, a gold armor-wearing crocodile and aspiring pirate, steals Donkey Kong's Amazon delivery of bananas right off his front porch. Donkey Kong is very disappointed, and he uses the Find My Bananas app to find out who took them. He then goes off to recover his stolen property. I may have taken some liberties there, but you get the gist of it. Along the way, you'll run into other members of the Kong family, the DK crew, if you will, who help Donkey and Diddy with advice, transportation to other areas, or help saving the game. This game pioneered the use of pre-rendered 3D graphics. All of the graphics on the screen were modeled in 3D on computers and then exported into flat 2D sprites that the Super Nintendo could handle. This was a huge jump from the pixel art of games like Super Mario World. There's also several layers of depth to each level. You'll see objects move independently in the foreground and the background to enhance the 3D illusion. The rain levels in particular look great. I love seeing the rain beat down onto the jungle, and then towards the end of the level it dries up and the sun starts to rise. This game is a work of art. The sound effects and music are top-notch. I can't even imagine the amount of thought that went into the sound design. For example, picking up a banana is something that needs to give satisfying feedback without getting tiresome to hear after picking up thousands of bananas throughout the game, and they nailed it. The soundtrack is timeless. A lot of the songs still pop into my head 26 years later. The music does a fantastic job of placing you in the settings. The underwater music gives off calm, serene vibes, while a lot of the jungle tracks are more upbeat and high energy. I'm not a game designer, but this is the type of game I would imagine they'd write textbooks about. It starts you off with some low-stakes platforming to teach you the controls, keeping everything within reach. Then, after you've learned how to run, jump, and throw barrels, they take the training wheels off and slowly turn up the difficulty on you. There's a variety of different locales throughout the game. You start off in the jungle, and you'll make your way through natural caves, snowy mountaintops, and temple ruins, to name a few. They each play very differently, and the developers did a great job of making sure the environments don't get repetitive or dull. And they all look gorgeous on the Switch's screen. At the end of each set of levels, you'll go through a boss fight, and there are some really creative ones in there. It's usually some variation of jumping on or throwing something at an overgrown animal a set number of times, but they're really enjoyable. One of the more unique parts of the game is how you have animal buddies to help you through certain levels. There's On Guard the swordfish, who helps you dash through the water and clear the way of enemies. Winky the frog can jump super high to reach secret areas, and there's more. They really add to the charm of the game, and who doesn't love those names? The game does get incredibly hard at some points. Some of the jumps require precise timing and momentum. I remember being so frustrated playing this as a kid. I have no idea how I got through these levels. This includes the infamous minecart levels. Some of these are just cruel. Not many games make me want to scream, but this is one of them. In terms of how the game plays on the Switch, I'm not a huge fan of the gradient border on the sides of the screen. I think it's a little distracting and ugly. I'd much rather have an option to leave the bars black, but it's a minor issue. Like the other Super Nintendo games in the collection, you can create a save point at any moment in the game, and you can keep up to 4 at a time. This really comes in handy during the more difficult levels, and trust me, there are many. Did I mention the minecart levels? I played the game handheld and with the Pro Controller, and both worked great. It's so nice to be able to play this classic with a modern, wireless controller. Donkey Kong Country is a timeless classic that still holds up to this day, but it doesn't hold your hand, and it's downright punishing at times. Luckily, being able to save anywhere is a modern twist that keeps it from getting too frustrating. I'm looking forward to seeing Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 added to the Switch, which in my opinion are better games than the first one. They haven't been announced yet, but I'm sure they'll be on their way soon. I can't wait to play them again, and I'm excited for a new generation to get to experience the series for the first time. If you're looking for more games to play on the Switch, here are some of my other reviews. And if you want to catch more games for all platforms every single week, make sure to subscribe.